Boyd, president of CUPE New Brunswick, and you are listening to CUPE Talks in the Maritimes with Nick and Chris.
Do you have any takeaways that you're going to be taking from the courses that you've learned so far?
Yes. So I've done a lot of the single day training courses through CUPE already. And one of the most valuable things is speaking and discussing events and experiences with the other participants.
And I would love to see more members get involved with anything, whether it's start out on a small committee. We want to see,
Can you tell us a little bit about what you've learned here this week?
It's a great learning experience, and as long as I've been around and involved, I'm still learning.
I am Nicholas London, co-host of CUPE Talk in the Maritimes.
I'm Chris Watson, president of the New Brunswick Federation of Labour and co-host of CUPE Talk in the Maritimes.
Hi, my name is Brian Watson, former president of CUPE New Brunswick, and now the producer of CUPE Talk in the Maritimes and across Canada.
Wes Wills, Local 380 Vice President.
Hey, this is Justin Spooner, Region DVP and First Vice President of CUPE 1253.
I'm Shelby Dodge, President of Local 3226.
Karen Tier, President of the New Brunswick Council of Nursing Home Unions.
I'm Jamie Agnew, and I'm the President of CUPE Local 963, representing New Brunswick Liquor Store, retail, and warehouse workers.
I'm Sherry Hillier, President of CUPE Newfoundland and Labrador, and General Vice President for the Atlantic Maritimes.
I'm Cheryl Ann Keown, and I'm the Healthcare Council President, PEI, and I also sit on Local 805.
Quay, hello. This is Kathy Johnson, President of CUPE 5446.
Hi, my name is Dorinda Smith. I'm from Local 813.
I'm Teresa McAllister, Provincial President of CUPE 2745 Educational Support Staff.
Bonjour, ici Alain Soucy, membre du SCFP, Syndicat canadien de la fonction publique.
Hey everyone, this is Candice Rennick, CUPE's National Secretary Treasurer, and you're listening to CUPE Talk in the Maritimes.
Hey, this is Mark Hancock, CUPE National President, and you're listening to CUPE Talk in the Maritimes.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of CUPE Talk in the Atlantic. I am Nick. Joined alongside me is the New Brunswick Federation of Labour President, Chris Watson. Chris, welcome to our show.
Nick, thank you for having me as always, as a wonderful co-host as you are. Siblings and friends, good evening, and thank you for tuning in.
Chris, we got lots to talk about in a short amount of time. The cat's out of the bag. This is like a crazy busy week for me and for you. So we're getting together to get this done because we like to make sure that all the members in the labor movement are getting their up-to-date, accurate news when it comes to anything union related. So I'm just going to ask right off the shot is how are things going with the Fed? I know you're busy. What's been going on, brother?
So we have been very busy. Some of the things that we've been working on, obviously, we still need to dive a little bit deeper into the provincial budget. But, there's things coming out of that have just taken our focus a little bit. And one of those things is cuts to public services. We're hearing about the privatization of vet services with our PIPS members. So one of the things that I was able to attend to today at the New Brunswick Legislature from 11 until 5 was a rally in support of these members. So again, you may have heard that the latest New Brunswick provincial budget outlines significant cuts in public services by including privatization. And of course, these aren't just budget lines, these are real people and real services at risk. So federal cuts have already stretched thin, and these provincial reductions will leave communities with fewer jobs, fewer resources, and much greater pressure on critical services. Most alarming of the cuts is the full privatization of provincially delivered veterinary care. So provincial veterinarians, again, our PIPS members, will be phased out of work, and this will include all veterinary lab and field services, medical care, and foreign animal disease control, inspection and testing, and meaning almost all provincially employed veterinarians are expected to lose their jobs. We know this isn't going to save the province money, and farmers will either face higher out-of-pocket costs or at private clinics, or the government will end up paying more through contracts. Either way, New Brunswick's at a loss. So I attended that rally today. I've got some footage here of some of that uploaded on my phone, which we need to get uploaded to be able to show you all what's taking place. So we'll get that uploaded for your viewing pleasures here very soon. But that's one of the main things that we're working on right now at the Federation.
Wow. We both know that, we talk about privatization in the public sector. We talk about it, all around really. And now we're talking about it with our animals, and their excuse is always the same. Well, we're going to save money. You're not going to save money. You're actually going to hurt farmers and pet owners so much money. They're going to be in a loss right off the hop. And if the government can't see that, they're just blind, and they are choosing to look the other way. And it's so disrespectful to the people of New Brunswick.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the ones that we think about, one of the main concerns too, is about our rural communities. When you have private companies that are going to go in and only there's so many people in a rural area, that's not seen as a profitable, that's not seen as a profitable area. So the level of service and care is going to go down, which means farmers are now going to have to travel further to receive the care. And then if they have to travel further to receive the care, well, then we can expect increases in things for the goods and services that we have as well. So it's all ties in together. So you're absolutely right. When privatization is in place, nobody wins.
So, brother, will there be more of these rallies that you attended today?
And once we find out, we're in constant contacts now with PIPs, and we'll be working also to communicate with the farmers as well to see what their game plan is. I know there's lots of actions on this, but this is the one that we know of right now. But if there are going to be more, we'll make sure to put the poster and put the information up on our social media platforms so that members are aware and that they can attend as well.
Awesome. Yeah, I just want to make sure of that. I understand the importance of it. And of course, I want to be a part of any way that I can to help and to draw awareness to this, because there's going to be a lot of people that are not going to see this or realize it until it's too late. So very important that we get the word out.
Yeah, no, you're right. And there's a lot of things that, people don't realize. There's services that people don't realize or they don't use every day. So when they're trying to privatize and phase out these different services, there's a lot of people that don't give it a second thought because it doesn't necessarily affect them directly. But in the long run, it actually will. So that's why it's important for everybody to make themselves aware and push back on this.
Absolutely. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but I do want to discuss what I think you and I call one of the most important events of the year that is coming up in less than 1 month, the Day of Mourning. It is maybe the most significant event of the year. I think there are people out there that would agree with that. Brother, we have asked for you to come and actually speak at ours, and we're very excited to have you. What does this event mean to you as someone who has actually partaked in it for many years?
It's a very symbolic event, and it's very humbling, but it's also a chance for us to reaffirm commitment, to push for better health and safety laws and to push for, the right to return home safely at the end of the day.
That's right.
Like the saying goes, we fight for the living and we mourn for the dead. So it's very symbolic, and it's a day that, a lot of people aren't even aware of what the day mourning is. But there's always ceremonies within different communities. I take it as an honor to be asked to speak here in St. John. So I want to thank the St. John and District Labor Council for that invite. This is a ceremony here that, like you said, I've partaken in many, many, many times. I've been the MC for the event. I've laid wreaths, the works. I actually have a flag that I fly on my property, and it's a day mourning flag just to make people aware. So it's one of those days. It's it's a very humbling experience to be able to partake in these ceremonies and see the grief on some of the people that come to lay wreaths because their loved one actually went to work and they didn't return. So it's a very, yeah, I'll just use the word. It's a very symbolic day for us to reaffirm commitment.
Yes, it sure is. We will be there.
Yeah.
Obviously, for completely different reasons than CUPE Talk in the Atlantic. We will be there to represent, myself as the president of the St. John and District Labor Council, you as the president of the New Brunswick Federation of Labor. An event that, in my eyes, it's not about, being there and making, it's not about CUPE Talk. This is much bigger than that. An event that, yes, I'm very proud to have you coming to speak at, but also an event that, every year it deserves every bit of attention that it gets. And I will continue to push for it year in and year out as the Labor president. So very excited about that coming up. However, it's also very emotional. Of course, the day of mourning is April the 28th, 2026. Hours will be held here at the Lily Lake Pavilion outside. It'll be a beautiful spot. Every
And I'm
year.
just going to say the monument that we have here in the St. John area is probably one of the most beautiful monuments around.
It is absolutely beautiful. And every year we have a great turnout of people showing respect, love, solidarity. Like you said, it's symbolic. It really is. So that's coming up. Of course, like I said, we couldn't get this show started without bringing that up as well. A very important day. Wow. Yeah. Glad we got through that. Okay. Listen, I want to take a break because when I come back, I want to talk municipal, provincial, and then federal. Big news coming out of Winnipeg yesterday for the NDP. So I want to discuss that. Why don't we, we'll take a quick break and we'll come back. And Chris, maybe you can take the lead on this one. I know you were very impressed and very excited about the news.
Yes, that sounds great. We'll see you when you come back.
At Higgins Insurance, we understand that protecting what matters most, your family, your home, your livelihood, is not just a policy, it's a promise. As a trusted provider serving Atlantic Canadians for over 25 years, we're proud to offer personalized coverage tailored to your unique needs, whether it's auto, home, or life insurance. Our team is committed to transparency, reliability, and exceptional service, ensuring peace of mind through every stage of life. Let Higgins Insurance be your partner in protection. Because when it comes to your future, you deserve nothing less than confidence. The official insurance of CUPE Talk.
Charred Oak Designs creates custom, personalized gift products. With 2 lasers, a CNC, and all the woodworking tools needed to create your perfect gift. From board games, cutting boards for wedding gifts, and everything in between. Got an idea? Give me a shout at info@charredoak.ca. Find me on Facebook under Charred Oak Designs.
Welcome back, siblings and friends. We are talking about elections. And we just had one in Winnipeg, and that was for the federal NDP party. So we want to take this opportunity at CUPE Talk in the Atlantic to send a congratulations out to the newly elected leader, Abby Lewis. So congratulations to him. I know this is a moment when we see a renewal of energy and opportunity, not just for the party, but for the working people right across this great province and right across this great country. And I'm looking forward, as I know Nick is as well, to building on that momentum and continuing to fight for fairness, dignity, and the opportunity for everyone. The future is ours, my friends, and it starts now. So congratulations to Abby.
Yeah, it's super awesome. the overall general consensus has been huge success. I've spoken to a few people that were there. Also, we have also talked to a number of different people that were following very closely to this leadership race. So, for Abby to come out of this as the new leader, I think it's wonderful. I think that the NDP is in good hands. The working class is in good hands. And I'm kind of not going to lie to you. I'm really looking forward to the future right now to see where this goes.
Yeah, no, I am as well. Anytime you have, I guess, a fresh start, it's always exciting. And like the CLC campaign, like we had, kicking ass for the working class. It's time to buckle down and let's get at it. And speaking of getting at it, we have municipal elections, and we know somebody that's running up in the municipal elections who happens to be pretty close, I know, to you and a friend to CUPE Talk in the Atlantic. Why don't you tell us a little more about that?
Yes, Casey Hingley. I'm very excited. Casey is actually under the weather, but he's actually doing a couple things for us that you and I will be promoting here on CUPE Talk. However, he's under the weather, but yes, he threw his name in the race, and I am super excited because Casey is actually a very smart, very aware person. He knows what we need. He knows what needs to happen, the changes it will take to get there. And I just think having Casey in that role, I think it's beneficial for the public. It's beneficial for the working class. It's beneficial for everyone. I couldn't be happier for Casey. I really couldn't.
Right. And for those who don't know who Casey is, you might recognize him in our opener as playing the guitar on our Solidarity Forever. So, congratulations, I guess, to Casey for obviously putting his name in the hat. And the best of luck. And CUPE Talk here in the Atlantic, we wish you nothing but success. We know you would do a wonderful job.
So the funny thing about it is a little background on it was last week. We're going to discuss it anyway right now. We might as well. On Tuesday, March 24th, a week ago today, was the municipal elections CUPE info meeting, otherwise mass meeting, that we had encouraged people to tune in. It was put on by the vice president, Sharon Tier, because Iris Lloyd was away, and the regional director for CUPE here in the Maritimes, Sandy Harding. And that's where it did come out that Casey was running. So I was kind of mind blown and excited all in one. And earlier in the week, I had reached out to Iris, as you know, and she was busy away still. So we reached out to Sandy about doing something, and Sandy said, absolutely. Sandy wants to come on and discuss the importance of the municipal election, which, you and I both said, just name the time and place and we'll make it work. But for Casey, this is such a great opportunity for him, something different, something new. And with the machine behind him like CUPE, and the machine behind him like the working class, the broader labor movement, this is a really good opportunity. I'm excited for him. And I know that you feel the same way. And I know there's a lot of people that are realizing now that he's running, and they're like, hey, this is great. And you know what? It is great. So hats off to Casey from both you and I.
Yeah, no, and it is important to identify, because you and I, we are representing labor. So it's important to identify labor-friendly candidates. And obviously having somebody come from our organization is something that, I can definitely get behind. I know you can get behind.
Yes,
So
sir.
one thing, when we're talking about that forum that we attended there, the online forum for the municipal elections that CUPE New Brunswick held, one thing that stood out from that for me, and I don't know if it did for you, but I'm sure that it did, was when Sandy made reference to the Department of Education, the council, about a lot of the time going uncontested. So I just want to put that in people's minds. If you're ever thinking about, wanting to sit on councils, and not necessarily within, representing your city, but you can be sitting there making decisions on all the schools. One thing we saw in the provincial budget is we saw that they're going to be doing a review of schools with 100 students or less, and that amounts to over 30 schools. So you would have a say within your community if you think a school should remain open or not, and things like that. So, if you want to run for municipal politics, but you're like saying, well, I don't want to get involved with the city necessarily, there is the Education Council. So please consider that as well.
Yeah, I
Now,
actually think
I'll
that
say,
would really neat.
because I've had people question me about it, you can't actually work for the Department of Education and run for the Education Council at the same time because it's conflict of interest.
So I guess I'm not doing it, huh?
Absolutely not. But if you know somebody that's labor friendly and that would do a great job, you put the bug in their ear.
I think that's great. I really do. And yeah, it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to give back. So anytime you have these sort of things that come up, it's a great way to get involved and to have a big hand in your neighborhood. It really is. It's great.
All right,
Now,
folks. Next on our program here, we want to talk a little bit about the New Brunswick Health Coalition. Now, we have an interview coming up, which Nick and I were pleased to be able to conduct, and it was with Renee Boudreau from the New Brunswick Nurses Union, who also happens to be co-chair for the New Brunswick Health Coalition. And we're talking about the Alberta Bill 11, which is a two-tier bill, which is trying to take public health care and also private health care and merge the two by allowing doctors to practice their public health care, but also be allowed to have private clinics and allow what we would say is if you can pay for it, you'll get it a lot faster. So if you have money, you get service faster versus if you don't. That's not what the public healthcare model is. And we do not need to see a two-tiered healthcare model. We're talking about, yes, it's in Alberta, but once it happens in one province, it's usually a test province, and we see it trickle down to all the other provinces. So we saw mass lobbies on this and rallies take place all over the place. But the best part is Renee is going to tell us all about that in the interview. So sit back and enjoy it with your listening and viewing pleasures as we get into the New Brunswick Health Coalition's interview on Bill 11. Welcome, everyone, to a very special interview here today. For those who saw the episode that we aired on Tuesday, you heard that it was National Day of Action for Healthcare. So we are joined here today by co-chair of the New Brunswick Health Coalition, Renee Boudreau. Renee, how are you doing today?
Good. Thank you, Chris. Thanks for having me.
No, thank you for coming on the show. So one thing that we saw, we put a poster out and you saw that there were rallies happening all across the country. We saw thousands turn out to those in regards to Bill 11 that's happening in Alberta. Can you maybe just explain to the listeners what Bill 11 is and how this will affect the Canadian healthcare system?
Well, it's a law that passed that is allowing healthcare to be billed to a two-tier system, almost like what the states are using right now. So it's billed director to the user instead, or the insurance instead of the Medicare. So what's happening right now is they're trying to bring in more like private healthcare to the province. And this is a no-no. Like, I mean, we can't go that way there. Um, on multiple facets that it's gonna hurt our system, that's for sure. So if I continue on that side, like what I see is like we're not gonna clone any doctors or nurses or like we're gonna take from the public system to bring to the private system. So we're just gonna empty out the hospitals, and the list are gonna get longer, and it's not going to get any better for, most people. You're going to have to pay for your services, pay for your care. So really only the people that are going to be able to afford their care are going to be able to go in the hospital or, get a surgery or so it's kind of scary.
It is scary because my brother, he lives in the States, and when he tells me some of the things, I cannot address it more. The last thing we need is a two-tier, Bill 11. It can't happen because when he says it to me, I'm like, how can you afford that? How can you do that? And even him, even the way he talks to me, he is nervous. He is scared because if something big happens to him, it's not like it is here. And that's what the Canadians need to realize, that it is a big difference between us and how the states run their healthcare.
Absolutely. I have a colleague that her sister lives in the States actually, and her and her husband are paying about $500 per month each for health for their insurance. And that's nothing. Like, I mean, if they need a surgery, if they need something, there's an amount of money that you have to put down before you even get that surgery. So think if you're getting a heart attack, well, they will not help you before you put that money down. So you better have that money in your account. You know what I mean? And me, I have like older parents that are, getting older. And I'm thinking about that. I mean, if it comes to the two-tier system, like we better have good insurance because if not, I'm gonna have to take my parents in, until the end because I mean, I'm not gonna be able to afford to put them in a home or anything like that if I have to pay out of my pocket the whole time. If I don't have help from Medicare, to pay for my care, I'm gonna take all my money to use on my parents. So I can't see how anybody can live like that. If we think that the problem right now, if we have a problem right now with our healthcare, like this is nothing compared to what's coming if we leave this going.
Right. And I think about this too. And when you were saying about having to get good insurance, that comes at a high cost because not every workplace offers insurance. And then we know we have housing crisis costs, we have energy, high energy costs, we have high grocery costs, the high petroleum costs. So, when I think about how workers will have to basically decide over, what they're going to be paying for these things, to have a two-tier healthcare system like that is just an astronomical thing. That's not the Canadian vision, and that's not what we're about. So that's why, when we're talking about Bill 11, and when we talk about Bill 11, for those listening, that is happening in Alberta. So it's not here, but it's not here yet.
That's right.
Usually what happens is we see one province will become the test province, and then it just trickles down and trickles down and trickles down. So that's why, even though this is happening in Alberta, we need to continue our fight over here in New Brunswick as well.
100%. It's like a wildfire. Like we can't let it go. I mean, Saskatchewan is already talking about adopting the same thing. They're waiting to see what's going to go on in Alberta, how it's going to go, and how they can do it. And they're talking about it already. So I mean, this is fast. It's not even like fully passed over there yet, and the provinces beside it are already talking about it. I mean, how fast is it going to make it here? And we all know that New Brunswick is one of the poorest, province. If you think of healthcare and if you think of the amount of money we make, um, I'm not sure if anybody going to be able to afford to pay for their healthcare. Like you said, Chris, after you pay for your rent and your hydro and your food, a lot of people, when we were talking about the pharmacare, a few months ago, we were saying how, a lot of people have to choose between their medication and their food. So now you think about, just going to if you're diabetic, you have to go and get followed. Every time you're going to go to the hospital, you're going to have to take out that checkbook. Like it's 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 something that I can't even I never thought that I would have to fight this fight, in my years because this was the Medicare only passed in the 80s. I mean, it's not that long ago that we fought that fight to win Medicare. And now we have to make sure that it stays.
Of course we do. And, that's where I want to talk to you about, what has been the overall feeling amongst colleagues, amongst the people. I know that you are all very busy with this entire situation. So what is the overall feeling with others?
Well, we met in Ottawa a couple months, well, last month, I think, with all the health coalitions. And I mean, we're kind of worried. Alberta Health Coalition, they were so tired. They're doing rallies, they're doing town halls to educate people on what's going on because even if you live there, like, I mean, if you didn't open your radio or if you didn't, get out of your house very much, you don't know what's going on in your own province. So imagine like us knowing what's going on over there, like word of mouth has to, we have to talk about it. We have to educate our people because it cannot come here. We have so many of our people that work in Alberta, from our province. They go work there. What, are they going to have to get another insurance? Because what if they get hurt over there? They will not be able to get, seen in the hospital. So if we think about it, people say, oh, well, it's far, it's not here yet, we don't have to worry about it. Think again, because a lot of our people are going there to work or they have family that lives there. So it does touch us. So we have to act right now.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I know that there were rallies and everything around the country. I know we're doing things a little bit different here in New Brunswick, with the lobbying efforts. But, when you're talking about spreading the message, what can our listeners do who want to get engaged and, might not be able to participate, in lobbying or whatever the case may be, or maybe they do want to participate in lobbying. But what can members do, or what can the general public do to support the opposition of Bill 11 here in New Brunswick?
Call your MLA, your MPs, you know, uh, take your phone out and or go knock at the door. Tell them that they have to get involved. They have to put their voice out there. I just had a meeting today with one of my MPs, and that's exactly the word that I put out there. They have to get together and put all that strength together. I see your dog. I'm sorry. It's so cute. So we have to put all of our strength together and put our voices together to make sure our voice is really, really strong and says the same message to stop that right now before it spreads. Um, it's not fully adopted yet, like the law passed, but to be able to put it in action, there's still a couple of steps to go, and that's why we're like so loud right now. We want the government to act before they can actually put it in action.
So I want to talk a little bit about Tuesday and everything that went on throughout the country to show support and show that they were against Bill 11. And I want to ask from your standpoint, seeing everything that went on. I mean, we saw the pictures, we saw the videos, we talked about it on CUPE Talk this past Tuesday. What was your overall feeling toward it? And do you think we need to continue to do this as often as we can?
I'm going to answer that question right away. It's yes. We can't stop. That's for sure. And for my impression, I was quite impressed. I'm so proud to be involved in this strong group of people, the unions, and to be able to make our voice heard. Like I have a strong voice, but if I don't say the right message, might as well talk to the wall. You have to say the right message to the right people and talk together, say the same message to make sure that it's a strong message. And that's exactly what happened on the 16th. It was wonderful. I mean, there's lots of people out there saying the same message and to make sure to work all together for the same thing. I mean, we're all living in the same country. We have to work together.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree with you more. And it's nice to see kind of everybody come together, to oppose this because, this isn't just something that healthcare has to fight. We all need to fight back against this. So the solidarity aspect of it is really going to come into play. So for all the members out there that are watching this and listening to this, don't think that this is an isolated sector that has to fight this, because again, we all need to oppose this.
Exactly. Whether you're part of a union or you're or not, it doesn't matter. You're a citizen. It involves you. Like, you should get involved, even if it's only to spread word of mouth. Tell your neighbor, tell everybody that wants to hear about it. Maybe one of these people will be able to get out there, and help the fight. So it doesn't have to stop to you.
We will continue to push this on CUPE Talk in the Atlantic and across Canada, because we do understand the severity of this, the crucial times that we are in right now. The fact that they would even roll out such a bill is absurd. And I think that we will continue to promote this and make sure that everyone is aware that it is crucial that we come together at a time like this and we are prepared to fight and make sure that this bill is, I'll say, ripped up and thrown in the garbage.
Please. Yes, I agree. I couldn't agree more with that. Absolutely. Because, I mean, what else are gonna think about in the next time? I mean, they're ruining our system. That's exactly what they're doing. So we can't let them do that. They have their last word, but we have the power.
That's right.
That's right. Now, one thing I will encourage everyone to do is to go to our Facebook page for the New Brunswick Health Coalition. There's updates on there quite frequently. I know we're always meeting behind the scenes via email and Zoom calls quite frequently. So, there's always constant communication going on behind the scenes. So I encourage everyone to go and share the content that also goes on there as well. And Renee, I just want to say thank you again on behalf of CUPE Talk in the Atlantic for joining us here today to talk about Bill 11 and how important it is that we defeat this bill, not only in Alberta, but all across Canada.
Oh, you're so welcome. And thank you for advertising our page, of course. And if you have any questions, like, don't feel free to ask all your questions. I'm never too busy to answer a question. Yes, I'm busy and I have a lot on the go, but never too busy to answer a question.
Well, please come back again, because I'd love to get an update from you shortly down the road.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks, Renee.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Welcome back, everyone. Nick, Bill 11, learned a lot. Renee Boudreau, pleasure to have her on there. What did you think?
There's a lot of things I didn't know that I learned in that short time. We assume we know everything, because we're here and we're involved. And some people just assume you know everything because you are involved. But that's not the case. You learn about something new every day in the labor movement. And that was like a whole education for me. I thought it was great. I also, now it's brought awareness to a two-tier platform. Just isn't going to work. It's no.
Yeah, no, it was a great interview, and we're going to be continuing to lobby. Earlier today, I received an email that here in New Brunswick, we're doing lobbying of all the MPs and senators. We're trying to. I received confirmation that I'll have a meeting with MP Wayne Long this coming week to actually talk about Bill 11 and fighting back against that here in the province. So we're continuing to do great work on this. So stay tuned for more on that as we go forward. But Nick, why don't you say we take a quick commercial break, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about conferences, and we'll talk about conventions, and we'll talk about all sorts of other things.
Attention vehicle owners, tired of juggling tire issues and car maintenance? Meet Discount Tire and Automotive, your one-stop solution for comprehensive tire and automotive services. From top brand tire sales to expert installations and repairs, we've got your wheels covered. Our experienced technicians handle oil changes, brake repairs, and alignments, ensuring your car is road ready. Desire a smoother, safer drive? Discover competitive pricing paired with exceptional customer service. Don't wait. Schedule your appointment with Discount Tire and Automotive today. Drive with confidence, knowing your vehicle's in expert hands. Come in and see the team, and remember, Discount Tire and Automotive is an official sponsor of CUPE Talk in the Maritimes. Looking for more than just a haircut? Step into Carrick's Barbering and Artwork, where style meets creativity and community pride. Mike Carrick isn't just your friendly neighborhood barber. He's also a talented artist who brings portraits to life, offering both fresh cuts and one-of-a-kind drawings for his customers. With walk-ins always welcome, fair prices, and a warm smile that greets everyone at the door, Mike takes great pride in his profession and goes the extra mile to make sure you leave happy. Carrick's Barbering and Artwork is proud to support our community and proud to support you. Stop by today and experience the perfect blend of craftsmanship and care. Located at 27 Waterloo Street, St. John, NB, Carrick's Barbering and Artwork is an official sponsor of CUPE Talk in the Maritimes.
We are back here on CUPE Talk in the Atlantic. I am Nick, joined alongside brother Chris Watson. Chris, May Day High Tea coming up on May 2nd, 2026 at 2 p.m. at Lily Lake Pavilion.
And we don't mean May Day like the distress. We mean May Day like International Workers' Day.
Darn right we do. This is actually being put on by the PSAC Regional Women's Committee. And of course, you know, we were fortunate enough to have Tasha Celeste come and speak to us at the last St. John District Labor Council meeting. And she expressed the importance of this event. And you know, it was a huge honor for us to take part in it.
Yeah, no, it's you know, it's a great event, and it takes a lot to put on an event like that. So please make sure to come out and support them. I think it's a very worthwhile cause, and you know, thank you to Tasha for coming into the Labor Council to do that. It's important for, you know, the organizations to get those presentations so that we can come out and support.
That's right. Enjoy an afternoon of tea or coffee, delicious sweets. There's going to be finger foods. It's going to be great company. Everyone's welcome. Tickets are $15 per person or $100 per table, which sits 8 people. Proceeds are being donated to the Hesty House. And of course, it's going to be a huge event. Sharon, I don't want to butcher this, Chris. Could you help me with the end in there? Sharon
D'Souza.
Okay, she's actually the national president of the PSAC, and she's
Yes.
going to be there.
She's an excellent speaker. I have the pleasure to sit on the Canadian Council with her for the CLC executive.
Okay.
And, you know, she always represents her members well, and again, does an outstanding job as a speaker. So well that we actually have her as going to be the guest speaker for the Women's Gala for the New Brunswick Federation of Labor coming up in the fall as well.
Very cool. So that is Sharon D'Souza, and the theme is a woman's place in her union. Just wonderful. So reserve your tickets. You can email rwcsjevents@gmail.com. That's rwcsjevents@gmail.com. And Chris, of course, you know, we've got to talk about the young workers.
Yes.
That is coming up, of course, as you know. I believe it is April the 14th and 15th. I hope I have that correct. Do I?
Yes, you do.
Beautiful. I'm very excited about this. It'll be CUPE New Brunswick Young Workers Conference held in Fredericton. Literally, it will be the Young Workers Conference right into the CUPE New Brunswick, convention.
Yes, that's right. And that's one of the things where we're going to go with this is we're talking about conventions and stuff as well, because you're right. This great event is kicking off on the 15th. And it's something that, you know, if you have young workers, please send them. I know we're excited. We're sending our young worker representative, Riley Hallahan, from PSAC to it as well. And like you said, Nick, it's going right into convention, which is a busy time. hiccups, which is a busy time of year going into convention. CUPE New Brunswick convention, as you know, is going to be going on directly after that. And then after that is we have another convention, which is
we got CUPE New Brunswick convention, which is going to be huge. Again, let me read through. I know I read through these last week with Wes. We're going to talk about me and Wes. I know I read through these 2 weeks ago with Chris. The 52nd annual CUPE Newfoundland, April 22nd to 24th, 26th, at the Delta Hotel in St. John's, Newfoundland. And, of course, CUPE PEI, they're going to hold their annual provincial convention on May 7th and 8th of 26. And, of course, CUPE Nova Scotia will hold their 62nd annual convention scheduled from May 4th to the 27th. And that's actually going to be held at the Western Nova Scotian in Halifax. So, Chris, it is a busy, busy time of year.
Yeah, it is a busy time of year, especially for us elected leaders, because we always try to take the opportunity to attend the affiliates conventions and bring greetings and bring updates, so that way members are fully aware of what's going on. Then you get, so these are the main ones, and then you get the individual conventions from there as well. Like you'll get the nursing home conventions, and then you'll get educational conventions, and then you get this sector and that sector. So it's an extremely busy time of year. And I think about our national president, Mark, and then our secretary treasurer, Candace, traveling all around and trying to attend all these as well, while just being in Winnipeg just this past week at the NDP convention as well. So many different time zones for them, and lots of jet lag, I'm sure. But, we're always thankful as they travel around this great country to attend all these conventions.
Yeah, and as CUPE Talk in the Atlantic, we try to keep everyone up to date when Mark and Candace arrive at different conventions. We're sharing posts, we're sharing comments, pictures, anything we can, because like we've been doing since day one of this show, and that's keeping members informed from coast to coast to coast. So all these conventions. And then, like Chris said, I know 1253, they have theirs in May. Obviously, 2745 will have their conventions. There's so many, and they pretty much go right into the fall. Like, it just shows how busy they are. Chris, we're going to hopefully have Sandy Harding on the show here in the very near future to discuss some stuff. Obviously, Iris Lloyd. CUPE Talk in the Atlantic will be at CUPE New Brunswick. Yet able to confirm if we will be at any other conventions in the Atlantic. However, as details come up, we will certainly be passing them along. But we are going to be in the gallery at CUPEMB. We will have swag giveaway. Your favorite Charred Oak Design's going to have some stuff to give away. It's going to be a very, very fun week.
Yeah, I can't wait. That's one of the best things, when you look at conventions, is being able to say hi to the members that you don't normally get to see on a day-to-day basis. All the great activists and everything that attend. So, feel free, come by, see us, pop by the gallery, get yourself a ticket. Charred Oak Design, going to have some great swag.
It's going to be a blast. Now, as we wrap up this show, I do want to kind of elaborate a little bit on the show done last week. The show was done with myself and Wes Wills, our third New Brunswick host. And we discussed basically news headlines for CUPE across this country. And we discussed a lot, from Saskatchewan education to long-term care in Nova Scotia. We discussed stuff that was happening in Markham, Saskatchewan, Manitoba. Like, we really covered a lot of stuff. And I was very, very pleased and proud of the work that Wes did to prepare himself for that show. And I look forward to doing those on the off weeks that you and I are not here. So I wanted to just give a quick shout out to him. Of course, Matt now being more involved now with different things. And our next live show in 2 weeks, Matt will be joining us again, where he will cover Nova Scotia stuff. I'm looking forward to that. And yeah, like we have got a busy few months coming up.
Yeah, you're right. It is a busy few months. And again, thank you to Wes for stepping in and doing that sort of stuff. It's great for everyone, on our team to be able to work together to bring as much information to the members as possible.
Yeah, we do a great job. I'm so proud of everyone. I really am. I'm so proud of everyone. This is it's a joint effort. No one person does everything.
Right.
We all do our part. And because of that, this show has been very successful. And we are definitely rolling out more content now than we ever have. So, brother Chris, I couldn't be happier. I will ask that you take us off the air, but thank you so much again for all you do. And I appreciate you. And I guess our next live show, if memory serves me correct, we will be live from, or I will be anyway, from CUPE New Brunswick, because that next show, the night before.
Yeah, no, I'll be there as well. And, we'll see you in a couple of weeks. But until then, thank you to everyone who takes time to tune in. And thank you, Nick, for all that you do. And thank you to all of our team for all that they do. And, until the next time, on behalf of CUPE Talk in the Atlantic, Nick and Chris, we will see you then.